against me. I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6-4's hit switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
With the business, West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games, no swinging for them fences. We want the finer things, that's expensive. To hit them in the close range or at a distance. If God for me, why? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock, and handle my business when it was my rock. G, flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold veins. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in the stove game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the fed. East Coast, they get that bread. You end up dead. The West Coast, they leave that spring. And now you got call me your Drake.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6-4's hit switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Oilers. And we are underway from Houston. Now ETN to start the drive. And some room to run now. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 74 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. ETN looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now they send a man in motion right. They'll try to run with ETN. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Travis Etienne, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Browns need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Returning from his end zone is Ty Johnson. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 36. Here's Herbert. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. 1 yard is the gain, and it's good enough for a Houston 1st down. Here's Herbert. Man, it's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Oilers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. On 2nd and 12, Fields over the middle, and it's incomplete. This defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Now, not a great one there. Out of bounds in the air. And the offense is going to be set up already in enemy territory inside the 45. The drive will start with an option going left. Herbert has it knocked free. And I think the Browns got it. They did. He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want the quarterback taking care of himself.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On second down, Etienne once more. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Fields. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked on by Justin Reed. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He's got one touchdown pass already in this quarter. Obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown down right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From his goal line here, Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And they work this out past the 25. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Fields on 1st down. He'll get this off to ETN. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. That's one we'll continue to watch here in Week 3 of the NFL season. The slot man in motion right. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You've got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Herbert now. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 3 from the 9. Herbert throwing again. This will be caught at about the 5. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. Taylor will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple more times.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here. "4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They snap it to Herbert. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Justin Herbert with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Oilers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. This offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Frank Reich here on 4th down is ready to try for 3. And his kick is good. And they will move on by 10 now, 17-7. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly. That leads to a play-action sack. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, the offense, Charles, they were flirting with disaster, already backed up deep in their own territory. So the interception and the pick 6 ensued. That was a big play.
It certainly was, and the short field gave him the rare opportunity to take it all the way back and quickly. And once he saw that he had open field, there's no way he's going to let that opportunity slip away, and finds his way into the end zone.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Pick 6 last drive. Here's Fields again. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watch the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
They'll send a receiver in motion left.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
They'll keep it on the ground again here.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going to be caught by Davis.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Herbert. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Credit for that sack goes to Cameron Thomas.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Being chased out left.
Herbert has it knocked free. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
He wants it all for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
They bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On second down, ETN once more.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
A third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now it's Fields.
And that is incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Johnson to return it. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Justin Herbert with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Oilers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. That one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Edwards. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on. Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Fields. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position. So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long. Justin Herbert looking to pass. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash, this from 48. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 95 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Fields. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
4th down, Fields has to have this one. And the ball is knocked out. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. First and 10, Taylor now. Brought down by Willie Gay.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This offense so far on third down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gambling.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he stopped immediately there. Bobby Okereke making that tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
A shotgun snap and again to Etienne. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this for about the 32. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. They snap it to Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now it's Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. In motion, the tight end.
Another tote for Etienne.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the home team here, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.